This conference will now be recorded.
Okay.
Yeah, Bharti, you there? Hello? Rajesh, you go ahead, Rajesh. Rajneesh, Sanjay, Surendra, anyone? Can you please start with your introduction? Karthik, can you able to hear me, Karthik?
Hi,
Yes, I can hear you. I can
hi,
hear you, Naveen.
Yeah,
hi,
yeah,
this is
Sanjay.
Sanjay here.
Hi, Sanjay.
Yeah.
Good.
Hey, hi, Karthik. Hi, Naveen.
Yeah, Sanjay, could you
Go
please
ahead, Sanjay.
Hello, sorry, what was that?
can you brief introduction yourself?
Hi, this is Sanjay here. Basically, I have 10 plus years of experience in ABAP, and currently I'm working with Cognizant company, and basically I'm looking to learn SAP TM technical area actually. So that is my introduction.
Very nice to hear you.
Yeah, thanks.
Rajneesh?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi. Rajnish. Senior participant in learn
Sorry,
TM.
your voice is breaking.
Okay, okay. No, I have already in SAP almost 10 years of experience. So I'm trying to learn this TM.
Okay. Nice. Nice to hear you.
Bharti, I just got in mute.
Okay.
Okay. Surendra, is there, Surendra? Okay, Karthik, you go ahead. They can hear us, okay? There are, I mean, I guess there's some mic problem with them. I'll check.
No problem. No problem. Okay. So, welcome to SAP TM Technical Online Training. Good morning, everyone. My name is Karthik. I have about 15 years of SAP experience. I'm experienced in SAP ABAP, SAP Transportation Management, Extended Warehouse Management, and event management. And I also, look into integrated business planning, logistics business network (LBN). So, yeah, so I'm majorly into logistics area. So yeah, that's what my background. And then regarding the course content, if you see here, the course duration is 28 hours approximately. And we I don't reserve myself to limit the course duration to 28 hours, but it would approximately vary around 28 to 30 hours. Yeah. And then this course is completely based on S4 HANA 1909. And yeah, we will also have a look into SAP TM technical course content. Let me just quickly open it. Yeah. So here you can see this is the technical course content. So we talk about introduction. We see what is SAP transportation management, why we are learning, and what is the scope of transportation management in the in the outside market. And then we'll slowly get into the TM functional overview. You may wonder why you see SAP TM functional overview, because because I was hearing Sanjay was 10 years experience, and Rajesh was also saying about 10 years experience. So probably by now you might have understood that uh, you know every ABAP developer should also have a little bit of functional understanding. Okay, so having that understanding would help you to understand what is the functional consultant is explaining you, or you can put your legs into the shoes of customer and understand what is the customer expectation, and then how best you can deliver the customer need. Yeah, so though we named it as ABAP developer or technical consultant, but we still should be able to understand the functional requirements and realize the customer needs in the best quality fashion. Okay, to satisfy the customer needs. So therefore everyone need technical functional understanding as well. That is one aspect. And the second aspect is uh, you know um, so these days with supply chain management modules come into picture, that everyone you might have seen that there is for every module there is a technical consultant as well as functional consultant. When there was a time in ECC that when you had ECH, SD, HR, F5, F5 modules, MM module, etc., then when that time we didn't had any SD technical, MM technical, something like that. But then when CRM was the first module wherein we started naming as CRM technical and CRM functional, and then later a lot many modules has come after CRM, SRM technical, SRM functional. So that's how SAP also bringing up every new niche module into the market with a combination of both technical and functional. The reason being is that to provide the quality custom development to the customer specific needs. Okay, so and then these transportation management, extended warehouse management, event management, so all these niche modules which are currently available in the market and very fast growing, and there is a very good demand for these modules in the logistics area as well, logistics manufacturing. So if you take transportation management, you don't have to look at from the logistics only, but the functionality behind this module is logistics purposes. But then the same module is also used across various industries. You take industry specific retail, industry specific oil, industry specific anything. But then if you look at the overall manufacturing also, so for every manufacturing they need a logistics. Yeah, so say for example, if Audi car is being manufactured, if the to manufacture a car they need hundreds of thousands of materials. Yeah, thousands of raw materials, thousands of semi finished products, thousands of subcomponents. Yeah, so all these they might not be manufacturing on their own. Okay, so if you take just a mobile, so for even a mobile to make a mobile and come out as a finished product, so they need hundreds of components. So some components they import from Taiwan, some components they import from Thailand, some components they import from China. So you might have seen made in China, made in India, made in Bangladesh, etc. So likewise, so for every finished product, for every material that comes to the consumer, so before that it arrives at a consumer, to manufacture that product, they need hundreds of varieties of raw material, varieties of components, varieties of semi-finished products, etc. They are manufactured across the globe in different locations, but finally they brought into one final location which is called assembly, where the assembly happens. Even if you take today uh, you take earlier, we take an example of Maruti Suzuki. Okay, even if you take today as Audi do not have any manufacturing unit in India. Okay, so they name it as manufacturing unit, but then they they have only partly, say 25% of the manufacturing happens in India, but rest of the 75% goods are imported from Germany or imported from China, and finally the assembly happens in India. So finally assembled Audi car is sold in India. So that's how many companies, even if you take so-called made in India mobile companies, but then they brought some goods from other countries, but they assemble here, make the finished product, name it as made in India, and then finally they sold in India. So for all this to happen, they need to every now and then they import and export. Sometimes to reduce their cost and to increase their profit margin, wherever they get the labor at lower cost, they assemble it or they manufacture it. So if you take in these days, when the make in India concept has come into picture, so some of the goods are manufactured in India and also exported from India to other countries. Okay, so every now and then we keep talking about imports and exports. So when we hear imports and exports, this is all these goods being transported from one location to another location. Okay, so to transport the goods from one location to another location, so that is called as transportation in layman terminology. To handle all these transportation needs, technically we need one system. Okay, so that is called SAP transportation management system that we are talking about. So SAP is a ERP business suite, so which provides a transportation software called as a transportation management, and that is what we are talking about. So by now I don't have to explain why SAP transportation management, why not other softwares, because there are many other pros and cons. SAP is already into the market from last 40 years. They are proven already, and the main advantage with SAP transportation management, they have a seamless integration with ECC, they have a seamless integration with other modules, and they have a fully a big portfolio in ERP modules, ERP suites. They can have an integration with warehouses. They can have an integration with an organization HR master, and they have a fully proven outstanding financial module, financial and controlling, FICO. So yeah, so that's how the SAP's footprint in the market, and the SAP transportation management business usage is being growing day by day. Okay, so when we started in 2012 using SAP transportation management with SAP TM8 version, that time we hardly could count on the number of customers on hand, 1 2 3 4 5. So that was the kind of number of customers number that time. But today if you see, thousands of customers are being using SAP transportation management. Now if you may have a question, now when there was no transportation, SAP transportation management, how the customers are used to fulfill all the customer transportation needs, right? That's a very good question. There was part of ECC, you might have heard, logistics execution was the module. Logistics LETRA, logistics execution and transportation, that was the module which was core part, integral part of ECC system. But then some customers used to use it, or some customers used to ignore it. So that's how the situation in ECC. But then with, if in the latest trend, if you see, everyone is talking about digital, everyone is talking about cloud based version, and the logistics requirements are also growing day by day. So SAP heard that market requirement, and therefore also understood that Elytra is not anymore sufficing the customer needs. Therefore SAP transportation management has the alternate. So that's the demand for this transportation management is growing day by day. And if you see today, there all the manufacturing customers are using SAP Transportation Management, and all the logistics customers, you call it as LSP, logistics service provider, or freight forwarder, or 3PL. Okay, all these kind of logistics transporters are also using transportation management. And carriers, so you take DHL is a carrier, uh, Maersk is a carrier, Panalpina is a carrier, Kuhne Nagal is a carrier. So these, Logistar is a carrier. So all these carriers are also using SAP Transportation Management. So this transportation management, SAP Transportation Management module is, catering to across various types of industries. So for manufacturing customer, logistics customer, and carriers also. Okay, so that's how the wide variety of customers are moving to SAP Transportation Management. There is also a tough a market competition with Oracle TM, but then Oracle TM has its own pros and cons. Okay, we will not get into that conversation, but let's try to move ahead with SAP Transportation Management. Now, this is the introduction and this is the SAP Transportation Management background. I will also take you through some of the slides when we in the next session. But let's try to complete the SAP TM course content for today. And I would like to answer if you have any queries, and then we will close the demo for today, and then we'll move on to the the actual training session from next week onwards. Yeah, so we will talk about SAP TM functional overview also, what are the various applications, and what is the how the application looks like, how the application integration happens at the functional level, so that we will see. So once that functional overview is done, then we will get into the actual TM technology stack. So if you see the TM technology stack, there are three primary modules all in all. Floor plan manager is also called as FPM. Then we have floor plan manager BOPF integration. So that is the middle layer, and the final layer is BOPF, business objects processing framework. Yeah, BOPF stands for business objects processing framework, which is very demanding these days. That is one of the framework which is which has gained a lot of momentum in S4 HANA, and every ABAP developer should know this BOPF framework. Okay, so we have three primary modules in SAP TM: SAP TM Technical, Floor Plan Manager FPM, and BOPF, Business Objects Processing Framework. And to establish an integration between FPM and BOPF, we have a module called FBI, Floor Plan Manager BOPF integration. So we do a full thorough hands-on theoretical and practical with examples on these three primary frameworks. So 90% of the course content is focusing on these three primary frameworks. Why? Because so when you complete this SAP TM training, and when you get an opportunity to work on SAP TM project as a TM technical consultant, so 90% of the work is associated with floor plan manager and BOPF only. So therefore, you should know and you should gain hands-on experience on floor plan manager and BOPF framework to be able to work on your real-time requirements. Yeah. So if you see, get into floor plan manager here, FPM overview, we'll see create how to create an FPM application, what is application configuration, component configuration. So all the integral aspects of floor plan manager, we will talk about it. And we will also see enhancements, FPM enhancements, how to create a button, we will also see that. And then we'll create a building a custom and a new FPM user interface application, we'll do hands on. Yeah. Then So we'll see BOPF also. So we will theoretically talk about, I have for every framework, I have presentations. So first I'll give you theoretical explanation, because without knowing the theoretical BOPF, without knowing the theoretical that architectural explanation, getting into the practical mode is of no use. Okay, so that's what I believe, and that's how the trainings are happening from last 3 years. Okay, so a lot of the consultants have attended the SAP TM technical training, and they are already placed into various customer engagements, customer projects, and they have cleared the interviews also. Okay, so that's how the training mode will be, theoretical and then practical. So I have presentations for everything, for every framework. So business objects processing framework architecture model, what is the modeling tool, and then we'll come to the custom development of BOPF objects, and we will also know what are the the BOPF important objects in it. Yeah, how to retrieve the data, how to modify the data, etc., and how to extract the data, etc. And then we will also do enhancements, how to create a custom business object, enhanced business object, and if you have to do any field extensions, like this is also part of enhancements. Create a new nodes, new actions, new validations, new determinations, and how to create a custom BO. This is will be hands-on. Custom node creation, hands-on. BO enhancement is hands-on. So I'll show you in front of you in the system. And then application UI enhancement we'll do hands-on, and then front-end application integration with BOPF, this is must. So do not ever miss this session. So even if you have any important meetings or important your own commitments in your day-to-day life, but never miss this session, end-to-end hands-on session. This will be complete, it will take whole session, 2 hour session. So front-end application integration with BOPF. And then apart from these, there is as I said, integration module is also there, right? So this will be very short FBI. So we never get an opportunity to do any enhancements in FBI, but I'll explain you the background. So what are the how do we integrate FPM with BOPF using the conversion class, view exit class, etc. So this is how it is. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, Karthik.
Wonderful, great. So then, yeah, now apart from these primary frameworks, there are also some supporting frameworks in SAP TM. Now I don't want to limit this course content to only primary frameworks, but I would also like to give you some extra knowledge on supporting frameworks. Right, if you see, because I learned in various before training sessions, earlier training sessions, that few people have only 2 years of ABAP experience, or few people have SAP functional, but their organization, we are talking about corona times, right? So corona times, a lot of people are being sacked, they are given pink slips, or in 2009 also it happened, and in 2016 also happened, now 2020 it also happening. Due to market fluctuations or growing market demands, the functional consultants are being asked to learn technical things. Okay, so that's how so I heard from many people the feedback that they are requesting, hey, please also tell us some techno functional kind of things. Okay, so some aspects of ABAP, basic ABAP related also. So therefore that is when I also included implicit and explicit enhancements, how to do implicit explicit enhancements in object oriented ABAP. That will also tell you, though this session, this training is do not cover core ABAP the fundamentals of ABAP, but it's purely SAP TM technical. So we also talk about implicit and explicit enhancements that will be created in OO ABAP. Yeah, because the reason why I have added this has some importance, so you will learn that. And then baddies also. So how do you find baddies specific to SAP TM? Yes, on top of it, SAP TM, SAP, especially SAP, has come up with a very beautiful idea to give some predefined helper tools. Okay, so why, can anybody tell me what is the meaning of helper classes? What is the significance of helper classes? Sanjay, Rajesh, someone, Bharati, I heard Bharati, I heard someone else. So can you please try to answer me what is the purpose of helper classes definition?
Karthik, probably these are like classes which are like utility classes which we can readily use in our logic, so that we don't need to redo all of that if the requirement is similar.
Excellent. They are kind of utility classes. Yeah, so they are kind of utility classes, but then SAP has named it as helper classes. Why? Because if you take, I'll go with an example of SD only. Okay, so for sales order there will always be outbound delivery. For all purchase order there will always be inbound delivery. Goods receipt, goods invoice, all these terminology we keep hearing, right? Sales order, all these things, purchase order. So depending on SAP experience, they understood the frequent usage of functionalities. Let's say, for example, sales order and sales order items, VBAK, VBAP. So let's say, for example, I have one sales order number, and for that sales order, I would like to read the sales order items. Okay, from VBAK to VBAP, I want to read the item information. So this is very frequent requirement. In every customer you get this requirement. Then what SAP did, for such common requirements, they gathered and they developed a logic. They've written a logic to extract the data based on the sales order, and they have created a class named as sales order related class. Within that sales order class, they have gathered all common customer requirements to extract the data, to save the data, to compute the some logic, quantity conversion, or quantity unit of measure conversion. So for all such common requirements they have gathered, they have put into one common generic class and methods that they have named it as helper classes. So similarly, in SAP transportation management, so for to do transportation, they need a carrier, they need a customer, they need, here we call it as shipper and consignee. The one who is exporting the goods is shipper. The one who is receiving the goods is called as consignee here. So between always the transportation is happening between shipper and consignee, and to make this transportation happen, they need a carrier also. Yeah, so carrier is like, whether it is the carrier can cater to four types of means of transportation here: road, rail, ocean is ship, and air is by cargo aeroplane. Yeah, so the carrier can provide four types of means of transportation, and then so the carrier also plays a vital role within the transportation leg. So shipper, consignee, carrier. So this is business partner. So in S4 HANA we call it as a business partner. we don't have any vendor customer anymore in S4 HANA. So vendor customer, we used to call this ship to party, sold to party, all this terminology we used to use it in ECC environment. But here everything is business partner. So business partner and associated roles. So the role will be shipper, consignee, carrier, ship to party, sold to party. Again, if there is a company who is very much familiar with ship to party, sold to party, vendor, customer, carrier, then they all will be created as a business partner roles. Okay, so the business partner role can be categorized as vendor, customer, carrier, like this. But if you look at the primary master data object for all these dealing pointer is business partner in S4 HANA. Okay, so this is all this common customer requirements to extract the data, to compute the logic, to push the data into the database. SAP has delivered as a helper classes. So we will also go through those helper classes, how they will help you to reduce the custom ABAP development. So which will help you in your when you do the custom development, that I will also explain you, show you. Paul, personal object work list is an another framework. Yeah, so this is also, we'll talk about it. So, and then post processing framework, PPF, is an another framework. Supporting framework is also used in SAP TM. PPF is used to work with documents, Adobe documents, smart form documents. Okay, so conditions, right? You condition techniques. Probably you might have had NACE transaction. So the NACE transaction is the functionalities what you can achieve using NACE transaction in ECC SAP. Similarly, here we are working with web enabled applications. So PPF will help us similar to NACE here. And then within the PPF, how do we configure Adobe Forms and proxies web services like ALE iDocs? In ECC, we use ALE iDocs to communicate with other SAP system or non-SAP system, right? But here we use proxy and web services. So because we are working with web enabled only. So proxies web services are used here. And I will also explain you performance and optimization analysis. How do we optimize the performance? How do you measure the performance? A bit of debugging, troubleshooting, and some tips and interviews. So we also cover additional tips and interview questions based on the real-time experience, but these will be discussed throughout the course duration, not specific to any session. But then when the topic comes, I will explain you any interview questions, because I've done so far thousands of I've taken the interview of thousands of associates. So what kind of questions that I ask, or my colleagues ask, so which will help you if you are looking for a job on SAP TM technical. So these interview questions you can pay attention and you can note down in your notebook and be prepared with your answer to clear your interview. Or if you are moving from one organization to another organization for a job hike, pay hike or something like that, then these interview questions will also help you. So tips will help you in your custom development, enhancement, something like that. But interview questions will also help you to clear your interview. Yeah, so this is how the course content will be. And finally, at end of the course, after 30 hours of 28 to 30 hours odd of training, I will also give you 2 documents, helpful links, okay, which will contain ready made solutions. For example, if the common customer requirements in your day to day, in your regular project work, step by step guides, you will get it. So these helpful links also will give you, say for example, scenario based videos or some blogs, something like that, you will get it. and step-by-step guide is exclusively prepared by me with a lot of scenarios. I think there are about 6 to 7 scenarios where you will get screenshots also and a detailed explanation. So these two documents you will get it at end of the course. Yeah, so this is the course content and this is what you will get it at end of the course. Any questions?
So, do you cover the BRF plus here?
Oh, that's a very good question. BRF plus, I mean, if time permits, we can also talk about BRF plus. But as such, what is the specific requirement you have about BRF plus?
Maybe you are calling a BRF plus condition within your classes or something.
I will explain you. Very good, very good. I hear that you already learned some required knowledge about SAP TM. That looks like to me.
No,
Is that true?
I'm working in TM though. From
Oh,
past
wonderful. Yeah,
three
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
4 years.
Okay.
But I didn't
Uh,
get full-fledged. I learned everything on the job, but I thought of to go through
Very good,
one
very
full
good.
content.
Yeah, I will until if you all are very quick in understanding the concepts, then probably if we get some time, I will cover that BRF plus also. But if we don't get it, then I'll find some time to discuss about BRF plus as well. Yeah, I don't think that it will it needs more than 30 minutes of time to talk about BRF plus, looking at the scope of BRF plus used in SAP transportation management, except conditions. So conditions is also majorly done by functional consultant. And then you get a very rare requirement wherein you have been asked to create a custom BRF plus application and custom function, decision table, etc. That you will get it very rare. There was a time when SAP TM 8.1, SAP TM 9.1, before that, we used to get such kind of requirements to determine the exchange rate dynamically, country code, Incoterms, etc. But then, with the latest SAP versions, a lot of alternates are also there. But yes, from the TM as a product, if you look at it, BRF plus is extensively used in conditions topic only. But if time permits, to answer your question straightly, if time permits, I can also take you through BRF plus, definitely.
Okay. And how different is this SAP TM with HANA versus SAP TM? Say,
Oh,
for example, I don't have an experience on HANA at all, regular HANA. How difficult for me to adapt this one?
that's a very good question. Your good name, please?
Bharati.
Bharti. Very nice to hear that question. See, that's a very good question. My participant used to ask very frequently. There is no big difference between non-HANA and TM embedded S4 HANA. Okay, so if you look at, you can get it in help.sap.com also, or if you search it in the Google, you will also get it, the differences between a standalone TM and embedded TM. Functionally, there are some differences, but technically, there are no differences at all until S4 HANA 2020 version. Okay, now let me get more deep into the topic. The impact of S4 HANA in any module, for the namesake, if we take SAP TM, S4 HANA, you have the ABAP on HANA, HANA concepts, right? So the ABAP on HANA also, if you come from a floor plan manager and BOPF, so BOPF has nothing to do with the ABAP on HANA or HANA, because it itself is a separate framework. So there is no difference from the BOPF perspective. And from the floor plan manager perspective also, it itself is a separate framework. So the kind of developments that you do in floor plan manager has nothing to do with S4 HANA. So if you use FPM in ECC or use FPM in S4 HANA system, it has its own way of development, which we will go through in this course duration. So there is no impact of S4 HANA on floor plan manager, FBI and BOPF. So overall, technically, there is no impact of S4 HANA in SAP TM technical perspective. Now, little more deeper into it, there is a very little impact. I would call it as 2%, 3%. That too because of S4 HANA 1909 and S4 HANA 2020. Why? Because with latest S4 HANA TM embedded version, couple of SAP Fiori applications has been delivered by standard SAP associated with SAP TM. Those Fiori applications anyway have standard SAP Fiori application, standard SAP OData, but they are being consumed BOPF objects to extract the data, to save the data into the database. Okay, so you take Fiori application, you take a floor plan manager application, you take any application that is viewable only. Okay, any front end is for customer user interface. So at the end, in that user interface, data will be displayed or data will be modified. Then if the data is modified, upon click on save, data should go and sit into the database. And when the user interface is opening, data should be extracted from the database and should be displayed on screen to the user. So data extraction and data saving ultimately is happening through BOPF. So therefore, so again we are talking about BOPF, which we will be learning in this training session. So there will be no differences from S4 HANA, whether you work on standalone SAP TM system or TM embedded S4 HANA, there is no difference as on S4 HANA 2020 version from SAP TM technical consultant. Now the 2% or 3% that I said will, if you happen to make any changes in OData, that again, that OData Fiori, that will be separate SAP Fiori training. If you have expertise in that Fiori experience, then you may have to add some fields in the Fiori application, which is 2% of the requirement so far in S4 HANA 2020. And in my experience, I am also working with S4 HANA 2020 today. So my customer have no requirement in Fiori so far. Okay, so and even if you look at the SAP roadmap, SAP, they publish their roadmap for every product. So you can find it in Google, or you can find it in SAP website. For SAP, where every product, you take SAP TM module, SAP EWM module, SAP event management module, SRM, Ariba. So for every module which is coming from SAP, you can see the roadmap. So what that roadmap tells you, what are the changes that they are bringing into the market. So in that changes, they always focus on functional rather than technical. So technical changes, they always limit, because if there is a huge change in the technical, then it is going to impact the end customer, right? So functionality, they always bring new functionality rather than modifying the existing functionality. So to, which makes the life of a customer difficult. So therefore, technically, once they deliver it into the market, they won't make any technical changes in the module, but rather they will bring in new functionalities only into the product with the new version, TM 9.1, TM 9.3. Now the latest version is TM 9.6. That is the latest version, and SAP has no plans to bring any new further versions. They will stop with SAP TM 9.6, and rather they will always come up with the SAP S4 HANA version only, which is 1909, 2020, 2021, something like that. They will come up, and yeah, so we will have to look at the roadmap. But technical point of view, in my experience, there are no changes from TM standalone or embedded S4 HANA TM. Any other
So
questions?
Karthik, Sanjay here. So these trainings are going to be weekly or over the weekend, or 2 hours per day, something like that. I just want to know the schedule, how it is going to be.
I believe everyone is working, right? So it
Okay.
will be weekends only. I mean, in fact, I am also working, so for me it is possible only on weekends, Saturday and Sunday.
Correct. Yeah.
And Saturday and Sunday, every session will be 1.5 hour, 1 hour 30 minutes to 2 hours between, depending on the topic. So that's how it will be.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, then I think so we can start from this Saturday and Sunday, coming Saturday and Sunday. So
Karthik, sorry, one more question. So
yes.
actually, a couple of my other friends were interested or were also interested in this training. Is there a way I can share this video with them so that they will get the introduction demo, and if they're interested, they can join?
Naveen is the right person for such questions. I'm just
Okay.
only the trainer for any organization or coordination related things. Please check with Naveen.
All right. I'll check with Navin then. Yeah.
Sure. Very much. Thank you very much. Have a nice week ahead. So I think this is Monday, and we have a lot to do from Monday to Friday. All the best. See you again on Saturday and Sunday. And regarding the timings also, I would prefer evening 6 to 7. Sorry, 6 to 8. Or 6:30 to somewhere around is fine. But yes, Naveen will coordinate on timing thing. What time is suitable for everyone? Naveen will coordinate and finalize. Is that okay?
Yeah, Karthik.
Okay, great. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.